awesome service? Fire it up. Man, a lot. Didn't Darnell do a great job? You know, I taught her everything she knows. Not true. Not true. Didn't the cyber team do a great job? That video? You know, it's amazing they showed the before and after. All right, what we looked like 5 years ago and what we look like now. And, you know, some of us are graying more, losing a little more hair. I noticed that. And then some of us, you know, we had some kids. It was amazing to see the transformation. I really was amazed to see Myron. Did you guys see Myron? It's like, oh my gosh. Look at Myron now. It's just unbelievable. Yikes. It's exciting to see growth. And, you know, today is a very monumental service for us for a number of reasons. It's our 5-year anniversary. And I want you to raise your hand if you were here 5 years ago. Okay, all right, you can see there was not a lot of us left here. Why? Because a lot of great things have happened. I'm going to explain that to you. We started with 21 people, and as Candace shared earlier, from all over the United States. You know, you had Boston, you had New York, Chicago, LA. You know, it was amazing that these 21 people came together and made it happen. And so we had to focus a lot on relationship. It's a discipling ministry, and the discipling ministry is all about teaching and training. And as a result, we grew the church to 74 members. Pretty awesome. But in the last 2 years, we've sent out 20 people. You know, that's a pretty huge hit. You're talking, you know, more than a quarter of the church, maybe a third of the church, getting sent out on church plantings and to strengthen other churches. Of those 29 of them, we had raised up to full-time staff status. That's a lot of training and teaching. You raise them up, it's like having kids. You train them, you raise them up, and then you hand them over to some guy. Come on, Shane. Where's Shane? Some guy. You gotta love them though, right? But last year also we planted the Louisville Church. And we sent Victor Marlene and 5 others with them to Louisville. And they grew that thing from 13 to 20. But things happen when you're in a movement, things move. People move. And what happened was the church here was asked, because we had done so well, that we were asked to be the pillar church for all of Russia and Central Asia. Nothing minor. And so what they've done is they've asked Barb and I to kind of lead that whole thing, and so they took Louisville off our plate. And the couple that is going to be working with them, the Turners in Chicago, said, hey, we want Marcus and Heather because we know them, we love them. Well, they were here. And so we send them to Louisville. And I said, well, then we get the Montanos. Yeah. And so they sent them here. And they arrived this summer. Okay. And Barb and I, we went to Tbilisi. Now, we can't go to Russia because of the war. They don't allow Americans in there. We could try to sneak in. I don't think that'd be smart. But what happens is the church leadership can come down to us. And so we were there for about 6 weeks. And we did a lot of training and teaching. But there's a lot of trauma that these people have gone through because of the war. In fact, I just found out this week, one of the brothers from the Moscow church got drafted into the war. Now you have a choice. Either you go to the war or you go to jail. You don't want to go to jail in Russia. Or you escape. And a lot of people have escaped into mostly Georgia because it's an open country. And so Barb and I went there for a number of weeks. And now we're going to go back in November because they're having their inaugural service. And then next year, once again, we're going to go there for an extended time. How long? That's a great question. Title of our lesson today is A New Chapter. Because Barb and I have been asked to focus more on these other churches, what we've decided now is to hand the Milwaukee church over to Victor and Marlene. And, it's a great thing to be able to do that, but it's hard because this is my baby. We came here and we gave our heart to it, and, you raise people up, you send them off, but you got this thing going, and now you got to hand it off. And it's hard. But it's hard for them, too, because this is our home base. We'll be living here, but they're leading it. Now, we're going to support and encourage. We're going to try and get in studies and do some shepherding and all that. And I'm sure, Victor will put us to work while we're here. Okay? But today, we're officially handing it over to them.
Come on.
So I'm very proud of them. They've done phenomenal. We started working with them 13 years ago. We've worked with them in New York and Chicago. But I'm going to start off by sharing some scriptures. And then the second half, we're going to hand it over to Victor to finish the sermon. Open your Bibles to Luke 4. And I'm going to share a passage that I did 5 years ago at our inaugural service. Luke chapter 4. Now the history here is that Jesus has just been in the desert for 40 years, praying and fasting, being tempted by Satan, and he begins his ministry. Luke 4 verse 16, it says, when he went to Nazareth where he had been brought up, and on the Sabbath day he went into the synagogue, as was his custom. And he stood up to read. The scroll of prophet Isaiah was handed to him. Unrolling it, he found the place where it is written, the Spirit of the Lord is on me, because he has anointed me to preach good news to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim freedom for the prisoners and recovery of sight for the blind, to release the oppressed, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor. Then he rolled up the scroll, gave it back to the attendant, and sat down. The eyes of everyone in the synagogue were fastened on him. And he began by saying to them, today, this scripture is fulfilled in your hearing. Imagine how powerful this was. Jesus just got done praying and fasting. It says he was filled with the Spirit. And the people noticed the difference in him. He reads this passage. And they're taken back. You can tell because they're like, okay, what's this about? Yeah. And Jesus simply says, today, this is fulfilled. Now you got to remember, this is a prophecy of Isaiah in the Old Testament. And they're waiting for the Messiah to come, and basically he uses one of those passages. And it's very inspirational, but it's defining what he is all about. And the same is true for us today. That's right. Point number one, my point, this is why we have come. First of all, he says to preach the good news. You gotta love good news. I love good news. Don't you love it when people like good news, bad news? Good news. I want to hear the good news stuff, okay? And he says, hey, this is why I've come. The good news really means gospel, the gospel message, to save people. All right, but there's a lot of other great things that happen, that you can follow Jesus and have a powerful life. Yeah. And that's where the training and teaching comes in. He goes on to say freedom for the prisoners. And see, this is why we're here too. Because many of us, along with Milwaukee and Wisconsin, are prisoners to sin. We're consumed with it. And it owns people. Their fears, their bitterness, their anger, whatever things that control their lives. Yeah. And they're miserable because of it. And we are here to free them up because that's what Jesus did. Yeah, come on. Then he goes on, he says to give sight to the blind. Now, I don't know about you, before I studied the Bible, I was totally clueless. I was blind to the reality of who I was and what I was doing. Yeah. And I'm so grateful that someone opened my eyes. You know, the light bulb goes on, the aha moment. That needs to happen to all of us, not just once, but for our whole lives. And God says, listen, I want to keep giving you vision. I want you to see things you've never seen before. And I want you always to be in awe. Wow. It's like being on the mountaintop. In awe.
Yeah, come on.
In awe.
Yeah.
And God says, that's my walk with you. If you're willing to allow it.
Come on, God.
We need vision. You know, 5 years ago, 21 people had a vision of where we would be at today. And now, another 5 years, 10 years, 15 years down the road. We need to get to see the big picture, the reality of eternity. That this isn't just a nice group, a nice little fuzzy, warm group. We're here, we have a purpose, and this is it.
Yeah.
There needs to be a reality that there's a bigger picture than the here and now. And when we get it, it changes who we are. He goes on to say, to release the oppressed. Do you ever feel oppressed?
Yeah.
You feel like things are weighty.
Yeah.
You may be thinking, every day, it's my life. And Jesus is saying, I'm here to take the stress off of you. I'm here to bring you joy and freedom. Jesus said, take my yoke upon me, learn from me, I'm gentle and humble in heart, and you will have rest for your souls. For my burden is easy and light. And so we got to constantly hand the baton, the things that we've been taught, hand it over to other people so they can feel that freedom, to take that stress so that they can laugh at the days to come. You know, we've done great things. We've talked about, look around. You know, this group here isn't because people don't work. We work hard because we have a conviction about it. And we feel like we found a treasure, not just in this, not just in God, but in the church.
Yep, come on.
The people love us. There's a reality here. It's not just one type of church. It's not all black, not all white, not all Hispanic. We don't show favoritism in who we share our faith with. Jesus said to love all people. We found a treasure here. Not perfect. You know, you talk to a number, but we're not perfect. But there's a lot of work that needs to be done. Milwaukee is suffering. You cannot close your eyes to it. In 2019, there were 97 homicides. They believe it was low because of COVID. 2021, 193 homicides. 2022, 214 homicides. Just keeps going up. Last weekend, 28 people were shot and 4 killed here in Milwaukee. 1 out of 3 adult women in Wisconsin have experienced sexual violence. 1 out of 3, guys. 1 out of 5 men, adult men, have experienced sexual violence. In 2021, 265 rapes that were reported. Last year, 14 people were abducted by human trafficking. Now, 5 years ago, I shared the stats of Milwaukee, and I talked about human trafficking. And one of the women in the crowd came up to me afterwards, just bawling. And she said, my daughter was taken this year. That motivates me. Can you hear that and do nothing? The horror of someone taking your child and you having no idea what's happening to them. Milwaukee ranks 13th in the nation for violent crime. We are higher per capita than Chicago. That's our reputation. This is why we've come. We're not just a nice little social group. We want to continue to love and rescue Milwaukee. That's why we raise people up, to do what we're doing, so that more people can do the work and have the conviction. And with God's help, we will transform not just Milwaukee, but Wisconsin and the world. And we are having a world impact already. But today, we want to hand the challenge over to Victor Marlene to do this very thing.
Come on.
To turn Milwaukee upside down. And at this time, we're going to have Victor Marlene for that. We have a little gift for them.
Come on.
It says, "Be strong and courageous, Milwaukee ICC 2023.
Come
Come
on.
on.
Now in the video that we watched and they showed the planting, we were in LA when they sent us off. And in the video, what you saw was these little statuettes that we had, and it was with an eagle. Well, in this picture is an eagle also on a mountaintop. And we hand this over to them.
Come on.
It's transferring it to Milwaukee Church. At this time, we hand it over to Victor to finish the sermon.
Come on, Victor. Come on, you now. Come on.
Come on, bro.
No pressure.
No pressure, right? Definitely it's an honor just to take on this new journey, not just for us as family, the Montano family, that includes our kids, but just to walk with you guys. This is something that we don't take lightly. I know it's a responsibility that God, first of all, God has entrusted it to us. And we're super grateful to Jay and Bar for this opportunity and for trusting us with you guys. We were here for those 4 years of, how God worked it out. And one of the things I told my wife, I felt like we never left. We went to Louisville and did our thing, right? Where God did his thing. God worked it out. God figured it out. And, God moved us back for a reason. One of the things that I through my journey, I decided I'm not going to get in the way of God. Whatever he's doing with my life, it's his life. He gave me life. He can do whatever he wants to do. I just got to make sure that I'm surrendered to it. And I know my wife and I, we're super appreciative of every single member here. And we know we're not perfect. We're going to drop the ball. But I pray that one of you guys are there to catch it. And one thing I can promise you is that we're going to do this together. That we are going to glorify God through this new chapter in the church. And, Jay and Bob are not going anywhere. They're going to be here. I know that there's no way we can replace what they have done. And I know how Jay felt because I had to hand over in Louisville to Marcus and Heather. That's our baby, right? And, they're going to be here working with us and making sure that we stay in check with God. And, but this is home for them too as well. And so there's going to be a lot of talks and a lot of, getting advice with them. So thank you, Jane Barr, for everything you have done, for being the mom and dad, not just to the church, but, for Marlene and I, for your great family with Candace, Tracy, Shane, and the boys. It's an honor. New chapter, man.
Come on.
Everybody was Isaiah chapter 43. Isaiah 43. So what's next? These past 5 years, God has done tremendous things. Has done many miracles. In the lives of you, a lot of you guys here, but a lot of the people that have been sent out to different churches. These past 5 years, God has done incredible miracles. We just happen to be by it, to be part of the miracles. It's to His glory. We don't take no credit. We are simple simply doing His will, and He's doing the rest of it. We're doing our best and letting Him do the rest. And one of the things that temptation is to want to live for those glory days.
Yeah.
What we have done is amazing. Well, I want to tell you today, the glory days are now.
Yeah.
We got to move forward. One of the things you got to think about, right? Michael Jordan, amazing guy. We remember him in the Bulls. The glory days. And I'm sure he's doing something beneficial with his life, but you think about, what do you remember Michael Jordan from? Basketball. We don't want it to be remember, oh, that's a church that 5 years ago did amazing things through God.
Come on.
God is doing great things now.
Yeah, that's right.
We got to live for the glory. We can't live for those glory days. The glory days are now, and we just got to be part of it. We have to use these 5 past years, to propel us to move forward, to do even greater things. Isaiah 43, verse 19. It says, see, I'm doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the desert and streams in the wasteland. He says, I'm doing my thing, guys. And it's new. Can you perceive it? Can you see it? Can you feel it? Can you smell it?
Come on.
It is here. He's making his new thing. You know, one of the things that I appreciate about new things is that they're new. Right? I mean, raise your hand if you don't like new things. Nobody, right? We like new things. You know, we want they're glorious, right? A new cell phone, right? You know, that's amazing. New shoes. They look bright and they're clean. They haven't been stepped on, right? New jeans, new t-shirts, right? How about the new smell car when you buy a new car? You sit on it, you smell it. It's fresh, it's new. It's amazing to have new things. But here's the tricky part about new things. At first, they can be uncomfortable. Think about your new brand new shoes. They're not comfortable. Until what? You break them in. Those new jeans, they're uncomfortable sometimes. Until you break them in. Even if you have a brand new cell phone, which you know is amazing, Jay, but they have to replace their old phones. But it's different. You're like, man, I don't like this. It's not my messages are not what they're supposed to be. My email, what is this? Give me back my old phone. Okay? And you know, sometimes we can struggle with the new things. Even though they're glorious and they're amazing, there's still an adjustment. You have to adjust yourself to it.
Yeah.
And it's going to be uncomfortable sometimes. And the temptation is to not want to persevere. I just want to go back to how it was, the old days. Well, here's the thing, the Milwaukee church cannot be 21 again.
Right.
21 members. It can't. We can only move forward. I know when we had the 21 members, it was a close, you know, it was relationship with tight, it was smaller, but we can't just stay there like that. It will be wrong to not grow. In character, in size, God has called us to multiply. Not just in character, but also in size. And we seem to get that down with the babies. We have definitely multiplied with that. So there's a new chapter and God is working. And He's making miracles. He's doing it right now in this church. You just got to make sure that we got to make sure that we don't lose sight of God through all the time. He's doing His new thing, we got to let Him. God, what are you going to do? Waking up in the morning, you're like, all right, God, show me the way. What are you going to do today? What miracle are you going to bring into my life today? And as a church, we must evolve. We must grow. We need to take our faith higher. We must allow God to take us there. So point number 2, allow Jesus to lead the way.
Come on.
Matthew 17, let's go there.
Come on, bro.
Matthew 17.
Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
Allow Jesus to lead. Matthew 17, verse 1. It says, after 6 days, Jesus took him with himself, Peter, James, and John, and the brother of James, and led them up the high mountain by themselves. There He was transfigured before them. His face shone like the sun, and his clothes became as white as the light. Just then appeared before them Moses, Elisha, talking with Jesus. Peter said to Jesus, Lord, it is good for us to be here. If you wish, I will put up 3 shelters, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah. While he was still speaking, a bright cloud enveloped him, and a voice from the cloud said, This is my son, whom I love. With him I am well pleased. Listen to him. When the disciples heard this, they fell face down to the ground, terrified. But Jesus came and touched them. Get up, he said. Don't be afraid. When they looked up, they saw no one and said, Jesus. You know, allow Jesus to lead, right? You know, one of the things that we see, God and Jesus, all right, in the New Testament and Old Testament, is always pushing people to take it higher. Yep. He wants to take us there, to take our faith higher. And he constantly is challenging our walk for a good reason. You know, Helen Keller said, the worst thing of being blind is having sight with no vision. Come on. And what is Jesus doing taking them up to the mountain? I believe that he wanted them to have a mountaintop experience. Yeah. To take their faith higher. To have this incredible view, this vision for the next chapter. Jesus wanted these men to take their faith higher. Why? Well, these men became the fathers of the birth of Christianity. Peter, right? The rock. Jesus gave them the peace, the kingdom of heaven. Can you imagine what this side did for this man? Can you imagine being there? You hear Jesus talking to Elisha, to Moses, and then you hear the voice of God. And I don't know about you, but I like to think that the voice of God was like thunder. Yeah. Deep voice, kind of like Malik. Yeah. And he says, listen to my son. With him I am well pleased. Come on. You know, if these guys had doubts of who Jesus was and who he's hanging with, this settles it. Yeah. This mountaintop experience changed their lives. It gave them vision. Now, if you think about mountains, right? You get to the top, and it's beautiful. You know, I grew up in Mexico grew up in Mexico with take care of cattle. And every time they were supposed to give birth, I don't know why, but the cows would find the highest, the tallest, mountain. And then we'll go up there and give birth up there. So what do we have to do? We got to go up there, find him, bring him down. Okay? And I remember the struggle to get up there. I was like, man, what's wrong with this cow? Going up there, why can't they use the flat land? You go up there, you're sweating, you're struggling. And then you get to the top and you stop and you're like out of breath. You finally get yourself a hold of yourself. You're like, woo! You're about to pass out. But then you look at the view. Come on. And it's almost like everything stops. And you take it all in. And you enjoy it. Come on. You take a breather. Wow, it was all worth it. But here's the thing. Imagine this man when Jesus says, hey guys, let's go up to the mountain. You don't want to miss this out. And they say, you know what? I'm kind of tired. Jesus, I've been walking all day. Why don't you just go ahead? My chanclas are not all terrain, This angels, Jesus. I don't know. There's scorpions, there's snakes. What if we trip and fall and break a bone? It's hard work to get up the mountain. I don't want to sweat. Woo! Jesus, I only sweat when I work. What if the view is not worth it? What if whatever is up there is not worth my hard work, my time, my energy? This man would have missed a total life-changing opportunity. Yeah. I'm sure none of us here wake up thinking, hey, I want to be the most miserable person on the face of the earth. None of us wake up thinking like that. Right. Whether we are Christians or not, we want to have a vision. Yeah. We want to have a future. We want the mountaintop lifestyle with a breathtaking view. You want the life, vision. But here's the question. Are you willing to hike that mountain?
Come on.
Are you willing to put in the work? To sweat, to suffer, to be humble enough to say to Jesus, lead me to the rock. Lead me to the mountain. Take me there, Jesus. That takes humility to say, hey, lead me. I want to get there. So I want to ask you today, church, are you ready to hike this mountain? Are you ready to put in the work? Are you ready to suffer for it? Are you ready to sweat? Are you ready to get your lungs going? It's going to take you some suffering. It's going to take you taking your faith to a whole new level. And here's the thing: are you willing to bring people with you?
Come on.
You know what makes a view even better? Company.
Yeah.
Every time I hike a mountain, since I've been married, I want my wife to be there. I want my kids to experience that with me. When you go to see the sunsets, hey, let's go check out the sunset. Let's go to Lake Michigan. You want to have people with you. Now, sometimes you got to go to the Lord by yourself and deal with your own sin, right? But for the most part, hey, why don't you come with me? Share this miracle with me. Share this vision with me. And here's the thing. I don't want 99% of the church to take the mountain. Everybody. No disciple gets left behind. Hey, but my knees are tired. I'm not spiritually fit. It's okay, we can get you there. The question is that you want to. And as long as you want to hike that mountain, we can all get there. Yes, it's going to take suffering. Yes, it's going to take hard work. Yes, I know, I get it. But we're doing this together. You're not alone. And here's the best thing. Jesus is leading the way. And if you may trip and fall, that's okay. We're going to catch you. And if not, Jesus will catch you. But we do our best to be there for you. Are you ready to take on this battle?
Come on.
I can't do this alone. My wife can't do this alone. Jay and Barney can't do this alone.
That's right.
We need every supporting ligament to build this body up to glorify Jesus. Not to glorify man, to glorify Jesus. We want every member to experience this breathtaking view, this breathtaking life that God has called us to live to the full. And I don't know about you, but I want to go to the mountain. And I want to have that experience with Jesus. And I just want to see Moses there and Elijah, but I want to see every single one of you guys right there with us. So therefore we have some goals. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, the church has grown all the way to 73. That's what Jay said earlier. So we want to break the 80 member mark. We want to go there. And then 90. And then 100. And then only God knows what's going to happen. We want to start an entrance class. And this will be a focus class for those who really want to embrace leadership and Bible Talk leaders and Mercy Worldwide and Kids Skills Coordinators. Anybody that wants leadership, we're going to have this class September 30th. We're going to start. And from there, we're going to raise the new Bible Talk leaders. And from there, we're going to get the new church leaders, region leaders, you name it. But we want to train ourselves to be godly. And we're going to use the scriptures. The only thing we want to do is raise up a new region couple.
Yep.
Who would it be? Max? Darnell? Tayari?
Come on, Tay.
Who's going to be? Monique and Alexis?
Come on.
I don't know what's going to happen, but we need the help. We need the help. And here's the thing, number 4. Are you ready for this? This is the hardest thing. We're going to have fun. So get ready for that fun, man. We have the conferences coming, the singles devotionals, we have a dating devotional, we have festivals coming. We have outings that we're going to have. We're going to have fun. I mean, Jesus went to what his way. He had fun. Okay? We're going to have fun. We're going to work hard. And we're going to play hard. And we're going to hit the pillow and we're going to have a clear conscience that we give our best to Jesus. And finishing up here in Luke 12.
Fired up.
Luke 12, verse 49. That's what Jesus says. I have come to bring a fire on the earth. And how I wish it was already kindled. But I have a baptism to undergo. And how distressed I am until it is completed. You know, Jesus says, guys, I'm on fire. I want to bring this on.
Right.
You know, what's the nature of fire? To consume and to spread out.
Right.
So are you ready to be consumed with the Holy Spirit? And are you ready to spread out? Not just to be consumed, but we got to spread out.
Yeah.
And you got to allow the fire of the Holy Spirit to burn within you. If it's not burning, let's put some wood on it. Let's light it up. Okay? And if it's already burning, let's take it higher. Let's go up the mountain and let's allow the Holy Spirit to burn within us so we can spread out. Love you guys.